what I didn't want to do was just be a news aggregator, because ultimately, like, there's already enough news channels out there, right? Like, I'm not going to compete with a Sports Pro or a Sport Business. They have amazing journalists that are going to be able to cover all of the top stuff, and they're being sent all the press releases and all of the updates as soon as they come, right? So I'm not going to break news, but what I felt like I could do was say, like, okay, here's 3 articles that have come out in the last week, and here's the common thread between them, right? So it was kind of like trying to add that additional point on top of what was being announced. It was like, here's an announcement, here's an announcement, and here's an announcement. And if you're looking at them in singularity, they're kind of interesting, but not that interesting. But actually, if you look at all 3 of them together, there's actually quite an interesting pattern across the 3 of them for whatever reason, right? So it was kind of like aggregation plus added value, or it was, how can I amplify something that's already been said and is interesting to a different audience that maybe wouldn't have yet read it. And so I would say they're probably like the 2 areas of focus. And then also it started with Roger's podcast, but now the Friday highlight reel will be kind of a roundup of lots and lots of different people's kind of opinions and thoughts. And it's then my kind of interpretation of what I've come across that week that I thought was interesting, that hopefully other people also then enjoy or find value in as well.
Yeah, and it sounds like that background in analytics is useful there as well, because you've got a very analytical mind, and rather than reading just one story in singularity, as you said, you're looking at 3 different stories, and we're analysing the 3 of them, seeing where those common threads are, and then drawing your own information, your own added value from that to create your own piece of valuable content that's drawing from other people's valuable content. So there's a great pipeline there for you to translate in your language to your audience from something that's already established.
Yeah, for sure. That's essentially the crux of it, right? And I think that's where a lot of the value is, because if you think about people that work in any industry, but sport particularly, they're very busy. There's a ton of content. So if you're going to get read, then you need to be offering something that's insightful, but also respectful of the time that someone has available.